am 27 years old. I have just gone to university for the first time as an undergraduate, so a little bit late to the game. Mature student, independent learner, adult returner, part of widening participation, whatever you want to call it, that is me. I am studying in Edinburgh at the University of Edinburgh. I'm studying cognitive science. Cognitive science helps if I can say it. And last year I did a part-time access course through the University of Edinburgh. I decided to keep a video diary of my journey and share it with everyone because obviously going back to university as an adult is a big massive deal. So if there's anyone out there who wants to know what to expect, I'm your gal, because I will basically be just logging my journey via video for the entire time. It's something that I kind of wish that I had back sort of even within the past year on the access course, so I'm providing what I wanted. Unfortunately, this first video, there's a lot of negatives in it, and usually I'm a super positive person, but it's been a really bumpy road, and I just wanted to show all of it, whether it was pretty or not, because I feel like, you know, if I'm gonna do this, let's do it right. I just want to keep it real and raw and honest, which is exactly how I've been. Some of the clips you will see I'm a little bit of a negative Nancy. I must apologise for that. But it's not an easy journey, so that's totally expected. This video is the lead up to Welcome Week, and then my second video will be Welcome Week itself. Definitely a different experience for adult returners into education, especially those who intend to remain in the same job, and you'll find that that was actually the most difficult part of my transition, and so I apologise for the moaning, but it happened. I promise there's some positive stuff in there too. So it is the 27th of August and I've already come across my biggest frustration I think so far in the process of becoming an undergraduate student. I think in a lot of ways it's fantastic how things are progressing in terms of widening participation at universities. Maybe not everywhere, but definitely in Scotland there seems to be a big push for it, but university is still designed for, you know, your younger person transitioning from high school or college, or, you know, from full-time education into full-time education. So for example, I am self-employed. I technically run a business even though I don't see it that way, but I have clients on a self-employed basis, and you know, as a professional woman there's a certain expectation of notice of change in your times, especially if it's going to be long term. There's 3 weeks to go for the course and I still have no idea what my schedule is going to be like. But there's some clients that I could possibly still work with, but I just don't know, and we're just in this complete limbo. I'm working with primarily with children with autism, but children with additional needs, regardless what those needs are. And so, you know, like, these families need to know what their schedule's going to be. They can't just drop their lives and be like, yep, Claire needs to work this day, so let's work this day, you know. I need to know what's coming in and what's going out finance-wise, and over the next few weeks I don't really know what that's going to be because I don't know what my schedule's going to be. Don't get me wrong, there's certain things that we do know. We know when our lectures are for our mandatory modules. I know for my mandatory tutorials I might be in from 9 until 5, but it'll be like a 1 hour time slot between those times, but you know, that doesn't help. Not really. And then of course there's the thing about elective modules, so like the modules that you choose that aren't mandatory, but you have to choose, for example, 20 credits or 40 credits from anywhere in the university. So I'm like, yeah, I know what I have in mind and I know what I'd like to do. However, I don't know if that's going to be approved. If I don't work a certain amount of hours, I can't be at university. I have to work a certain amount of hours to support myself in order to be there, to pay bills and, you know, to live. It's not optional to work. I can't just be like, okay, I'm gonna not work for 6 months and just see how it goes, because I'm 27 years old. Like, I'm not from parents' money. You know, I don't have some sort of trust fund. I am just a girl who, if she doesn't work, doesn't get paid, can't eat, can't pay the bills. Simple. It is pouring outside, and I mean pouring. I have puddles in my shoes. Anyway, just an update. I have recently discovered that it's possible that I will receive less than a week's notice of my timetable, and if I want to make changes to tutorial times or labs, I have to do that through an online process, which means it could take even longer. And I'm really not happy about it because I'm finding that it's impossible to maintain professional integrity whilst transitioning to be a full-time student, and I feel like if universities are going towards widening participation, then this is something they definitely have to take on board, because if I was employed, I'm sure I would have been fired by now. Luckily, I'm self-employed and I'm my own boss, but it's still not acceptable practice to give clients such short notice. If I had a staff member and they told me that they could only provide clients with less than a week's notice for a massive change in their timetable, or even possible termination of therapy contract, I would be giving them a disciplinary. And yeah, I'm forced to be that person, and I am very proud of my professional integrity and my work ethic, and I'm feeling really frustrated that I'm almost being forced not to have that. Yeah, so a little bit annoyed. I have a bee in my bonnet and yeah, it's really hard. Let's do a let's celebrate with a spin, because I finally have a personal tutor! So I got an email from my personal tutor the Thursday before the Monday of welcome week. So yeah, super excited because I was getting super anxious about that. And I have met her, but not as a personal tutor. I've met her when I went to the open day to find out more about the degree that I was going to study. I was chatting to her for ages and she's fantastic. I am 99.999 recurring % sure that she won't remember me because she would have spoken to so many people, but it's kind of nice knowing that I'm going to a face I know and I sort of know her demeanour, and she's super enthusiastic about cognitive science, which is what I'm studying. So she said in her email that we are welcome to choose our outside courses without having actually met her first. And if I was told that like a week, maybe even 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, I would have been like, okay, I know my exact choices, I'm fine, I'm good to go, put them down, bam. But I've looked at them so much recently that it's just all in here and it's went boom, and yeah, my brain's just popped with it all. I think I look too much into things, and the things that I want to do are clashing with the modules that are mandatory, so that's not helpful. So actually, as much as I want it done, I kind of really need her help to look into what the best option is for a lot of this stuff. So as much as I just want to like get in there quickly to make sure I get what I want to do, I don't want to make the wrong decision, and I don't want to just choose something because I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself to get this timetable sorted for my clients. So I'm kind of stuck. I've decided I'm going to give myself the weekend. I'm going to look at every single course all over again, even though I could probably tell you them all off by heart, and try my best to make a decision. And if I haven't made a decision, then ask her for a meeting very soon so that can happen. She seems super keen and super lovely, so you know, I think I'm feeling positive about it all now that it's kind of getting into motion, but time is ticking. So as you can see, there are a lot of ups and downs, a lot of downs. It's quite unusual for me to be negative, but that's the raw experience. That's how I felt through this process, and I'm sure that I won't be the only one. And if you are someone who is going to start university as an adult returner, then I'm sure this is something that you might go through. So learn from my process. Not everything is in your control, as maybe it has been in the past, like it was for me. As I said, my next video will be Welcome Week. I hope you enjoy, and you'll get to see what that experience is like when you're not 17 years old for freshers. 27-year-old fresher, whoop whoop! Sorry for the wet hair, I'm just out of the shower, but I needed to do a video update because I've just been told that I can no longer get psychology accreditation on my course. It did say, you know, it's not a psychology degree and you don't get accreditation. However, at a later date, I was informed that actually if you do the correct amount of credits in psychology, then it can be accredited, because, for example, if I've done the same amount of psychology work as a psychology student, then, you know, it makes sense that I also be accredited because I've done X amount of psychology studies within cognitive science. So that was great, and that was something that was a real boost for me and sort of part of why I decided to go for that degree, amongst other things, but it was a contributing factor. And now I've been informed that actually that's not the case. It says so in the course handbook. So it was quite important to me, and to be honest, I don't even know what to do with this information right now. Thing is, like, tomorrow is the start of welcome week and I have like my welcome lecture, so you know, it's too late to make any changes. I did get an offer from St Andrews to study psychology, which obviously is quite a big deal. It's not everyone gets into St Andrews, and I was very proud of myself for that, and I chose cognitive science over that, you know, thinking I can study cognitive science but then also get psychology accreditation, so it's like I'm getting more from Edinburgh than I would from St Andrews. Whereas now I don't know, it's quite hard to process. I don't really know what my options are. Like, I'm maybe just going to have to accept the fact that I can't be accredited for psychology even if I study a crap load of psychology. Yeah. I don't have much more to say because I don't know if anyone's got any suggestions. Like,